We also continue this. We
Well, I deeply apologize that you were not done yet. You had such a long pause then, and I thought you were. So if you wanted to pray and say some more, I submit the line.
Well, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, you didn't have anything, or you did?
Well, no, I was trying to think. I didn't know exactly what you wanted from me, so I did the best I could. And the pause was...
It was great, you know. I mean, I just used that first opening song. What kind of church is this? To kind of prime the pump to say, well, if our format is to decree and declare and teach people how to decree and declare, then we can also set the example of not just praying of how we personally are, but collectively as a ministry, you know, how do we want to be and what do we want to be, and you know, how do we want to present ourselves to this world? Because there's a lot of different types of ministries out there. There's a lot of different approaches. There's a lot of different doctrines. There's a lot of. It surely is not the one or oneness that Ephesians describes, but it does look a lot like the end times churches that are being rebuked in Revelations, you know, and everybody says that America looks a lot like the church at Laodicea, but, you know, we also look a lot like Philadelphia, and it's interesting that we, of course, have America starting in Philadelphia. It really is where it started more than, you know, Washington, D.C., but a lot of people don't recognize or understand history. They don't really get all that. But that was why Apostle George took us all out there for the America Wake Up. I think it was 2 years ago. Me and Scott Pratt went out there for America Wake Up all around Philadelphia, and we were praying over all the institutions that were laid out for this country, you know, and are still there today. You know, it's a lot of monuments and a lot of things that are connected to paganism and Greek mythology, and you know, at the same time, we find all this information that we were set up as a Christian nation, but you know, there's all these controversies of all these other false gods that are seemingly all over the place in America's roots and foundations as well. So it's a real mixed bag, which makes sense with Catholicism because they're kind of a mixed bag too, you know. But it was more the not Catholicism, I think, that was a big part of why America started, because people were fleeing from the church that England was, because basically the country was pushing Catholicism through the government, which was a normal thing ever since Catholicism started. They were involved, you know, with politics. And so what kind of church is this? What kind of church is that? You know, one that basically wants to control and manipulate the people in a dictatorship type theocracy, but not a positive theocracy. If we look at Yeshua as our King of Kings, we can see a theocracy that we're really the ultimate theocracy that we're supposed to be a part of, if indeed we put the government on his shoulders. So what kind of church is this? What kind of country is this? You know, is this a country that, you know, really is a congregation, and it's a good one and a bad one, you know? But we within that, because we are to be in this country, in this world, but yet not be of this world. That's another major part of identifying, I think, who we are as a congregation, as a people that comes together, you know, in love, and you know, gathers and fellowships. We really day by day express that, because you can make a mission statement, which is good, you should, and you know, we can decree and declare a lot of things, but when the rubber meets the road, when we actually perform or act out, or are the acts of the shaliachs and shaliyas, when we are, you know, walking in this as ministers of love, the expression of how we walk really is the ultimate identification of who Love Inc. is. It's more of an action, because that's what people are going to judge us by. Because listen to what I just did. I judged all those other institutions, including the United States government and the Quakers and, you know, Puritans and the Catholics. You know, I basically covered a lot of different things, and really Catholicism, you know, what was dominating England for several hundred years, and why we started as a nation here. But did we start completely in pure Bible? Well, with the Puritans, they wanted it that way, and the Quakers wanted it that way. But I think the government officials didn't want it to become another church state. They didn't want it to be another dominating factor that one denomination or one belief was going to dominate. But yet, when we read Ephesians 4, that's really exactly what we're supposed to be as a body. But as a country, to dictate that to the people and be a theocracy, which they didn't want to do in the United States, they wanted to be a republic. And so determining who we are and really laying out the groundwork for that is more done by our daily actions as ministers of love than what we decree or what we declare. But I think that when we get on and we are decreeing and we are declaring the kind of ministry that we are, I think it makes things shift and move and change and opens doors that need to be opened and closes doors that need to be closed. And it does a lot of powerful things as we pray for us as ministers and as ministry to perform Yah's will for us. And ultimately, what I hear constantly in the Ruach is we don't want to be like all those other failed models that you can see obviously are not according to Scripture. So therefore, are they Yah's will? Because that's the other question that people ask. Well, is that Yah's will? Well, if you look at what His Word says, it tells you what His will is. So either they're doing what that Word says or they're not. And some are doing some parts of it. And we've got to give the Catholics credit when it comes to the Good Samaritan part. They do real well. You know, they feed a lot of people, but I think they squander millions and millions and millions of dollars away at the same time. So, you know, where is that? And then, you know, the Mormons have basically become like Catholicism. They've become business, you know. They own Marriott's Great America. They own the Marriott hotel chains, you know. And there are numerous diversities of, you know, Fairfield by Marriott, Courtyard by Marriott. You know, they own a condo living timeshare situation. They own a lot of stuff. But do we come in agreement with the Mormon doctrine? Well, I know, you know, for example, when Sandy and I book ourselves, we try to stay away from Marriott because we don't want to support the Mormon cause because it's not biblically accurate. So it's a doctrine that is within business that we don't want to be a part of. And that's why we can feel comfortable being in business with a company like Angevity, because we can see that, you know.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Shattering Traditions. This program is an outreach of Yahweh's Restoration Ministry. For all our materials, including free booklets and the RT magazine, visit our website, yrm.org. Get your copy of the Restoration Study Bible, the book that's changing hearts and minds around the world. Visit store.yrm.org. Keep up to date with ministry news and events by liking us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/YRM. Subscribe to our Shattering Traditions YouTube channel and see all our latest videos. This ministry is only possible by the tithes and offerings of our members and supporters. To donate by phone, call toll.
Whenever God shine a light on me, open up my eyes so I can see. When I look up in the darkest night, and I know everything is gonna be alright. In deep confusion,